Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Community Works. I'm Bernadette Welsh, your host. Each one of our shows highlights a local nonprofit agency in our area. Our goal is to educate you, our viewers, about the great work that's going on all around us every day by local agencies and their supporters. When people help their neighbors, everybody benefits. The focus of today's show is a wonderful service organization called Quota International of New Haven. It's a group of wonderful women who do good things and good works. So, I don't want to screw it up, so I have invited two very wonderful ladies from the organization to explain what they do. So, Doreen Ann, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Doreen Ilya is the current president of the organization, and you are also a retired special education teacher in North Branford.
Right.
That's where you worked.
Yes.
And Anne, you are an active volunteer, a past president, and a retired chaplain for Massonicare.
Right.
So that is wonderful that you both took the time out of your busy schedules to be with us today to educate our viewers about Quota International. So Doreen, I'd like to start with you. If you could give us a little idea of the history and mission of your organization, that would be very much appreciated.
Sure. Well, Quota International began in Buffalo, New York in 1919. And there was a group of ladies who wanted to join a community service group. And at that time, the only clubs were for men only. So these ladies decided to start their own club. And they were very optimistic. They named it International, Quota International, thinking that others in America and around the world might like to join them. And that was in 1919. In 1925, Quota International of New Haven began, just 6 years after they had started theirs. And we were the first women's service organization in New Haven. And so in 3 years, we'll be celebrating our 100th anniversary, which is going to be a big deal, we hope.
Oh, good. Let's have a big party.
Yeah.
We'll have a big party.
Yeah. Now, international headquarters was in Washington, D.C., but they closed for financial reasons and a few other problems with the pandemic and whatnot. But there are still 172 clubs around the world, Quota International, in 13 countries.
Wow.
So we were still very much an international organization. There are 2 clubs in Connecticut, ours, and we kind of range our service projects and our members from Stratford to Killingworth, from New Haven to Wallingford, and all points in between. And the other club is in Bristol.
Okay, that's great.
And you asked about the mission?
Yes.
And that I'm going to read, because
mission.
if I don't, I might, I don't have it memorized.
Okay, all right, Doreen, you can go ahead and read.
The mission of the club shall be to seek individuals of diverse occupations committed to sharing their time, talent, and resources to meet the club's service goals.
Okay, so you are truly a women's service organization to do good in the community. Now that is awesome. That's a very good goal. All right, Anne, now it's your turn. Could you tell us about how many members you might have in the New Haven area, and then how would a woman become a member of the club?
Currently, we have 40 members in the greater New Haven area in places like Stratford and Hamden and Wallingford and Madison and so on, and of course in New Haven. And even though we have been having COVID these last couple of years, we have added new members.
Very good. So do you have to apply to be a member, or do you have to fill out an application, or can I say, oh, Anne likes me, so she says I can be a member?
It's kind of like all of the above, actually.
Oh, good. Okay.
A lot of our members actually are friends or colleagues, acquaintances of Quotarians. So the Quotarian would actually present the name of the person to become a member. Also, people can become interested from talking with us or seeing the kind of work that we do, and then they would talk to the membership committee or to the president, and then we would invite them to come as a guest of our club for dinner at the graduate club. And if the person continues to be interested, we invite them to join. And then they fill out a membership application, and they pay an initiation fee and dues. And when that's done, they're an official member, and then we celebrate. We are really good at welcoming people. We love to do that. So we have an installation ceremony, and we give them a Quota pin, and we give them a membership brochure. So we love to have new members.
Okay, wonderful. That's part of what the show is about, is we're going to be educating folks about what your organization does, how to become a member, to see, well, maybe there's people out there that would like to do that. So thank you. That was both very good information for our viewers.
I don't know if I heard, but we have 40 members currently.
Yes.
And we are always happy to have more.
Great. So there's no limit, right? We don't
No
have
limit.
to, there's no limit.
No
Okay,
limit.
that's wonderful. Okay, so now, this is a very important part of our program, because now we're going to actually tell people what the kinds of things that you do in terms of service. So Ann, you're going to talk to us about the programs that Quota International supports that center around food insecurity. Take it away.
That's been a real priority for us as a club, to help families and organizations that work with issues of food insecurity. And as we all know, this has become a really important issue during the pandemic. So some of the things that we have done and do, we give a monetary donation as well as food to the Community Soup Kitchen in New Haven. We're very active with Fellowship Place and have been for many years. They do a lot of work with people with mental health issues, and what we really enjoy doing is have a group of volunteers go down and provide a nice supper, and we get to meet the folks and get to know them, and they get to know us. So we love to make those kinds of contacts. And then very recently, we just did a Chapel in the Green. It's sponsored by Trinity Episcopal Church. And it's usually to help the homeless. And again, we take our meal with us and provide that after we've attended a worship service, and get to know them, and just enjoy being in that context, getting to know people and their stories, and providing some of our yummy homemade sandwiches for lunch.
Well, don't you find that people are just so receptive to chatting when surrounds a meal? I just,
Yes.
it's just like inviting a girlfriend out to lunch. It's just a matter of breaking bread and talking about, well, where you are, where you're coming from, and it's just a great idea to help the community in that way. Food is, well, it's the necessity of life, is it not?
And I'd also like to tell you about what we do with the Connecticut Food Share.
Yes, talk about
Because
that.
this has been something our club has been involved with for many, many years. We have a real commitment and a partnership with Connecticut Food Share, and we give them money every year, a donation, but we also have volunteers who go 3 Tuesdays a month, and they work for the mobile food pantry by packaging different food items, produce for families, and also sometimes it's like a big flat of cans or whatever's needed to go on the food truck. And we have a lot of fun doing that, as well as knowing that we're helping people. And one of the fun things is that's where we recently got 2 of our new members. Our volunteers and these 2 women were chatting and getting to know each other, and our folks told them about Quota, and they got really interested. So they said they thought they might like to be members, so they came to a dinner and literally signed up on the spot.
There you
So
go.
we just installed them about a month ago.
Well, congratulations,
So that's one of
yeah.
the ways that we really do get people involved and have them become members, and then we can be friends and have fun together
Yeah.
doing good works.
Yeah, don't you think there are a lot of gals out there that are looking for a way to spend their free time and are looking for organizations, they just don't know. And then when you reach out in the community, then that allows the community to hook up with you.
Right.
So that's really awesome.
In both my career and in Quota, I've had many women say to me that I'm just looking for my own niche. I'm looking for the place where I really fit and where I can use my talents to help others.
For sure, because that's what we all want to do, isn't that true? We all want to use our talents for the good of the community. Well, most of us do. Most of us do anyway. There's some people out there who say, I don't know, but this is a great organization for women that want to find something to do.
Absolutely.
All right, so now, Doreen, you've been very patient.
Well, I have a question for you because you had asked me to talk about our meetings.
Yes.
And I thought maybe this might be a good time when we talk about welcoming new members to a meeting.
Okay, so yes, you could talk to us about what happens at meetings.
Yes, well, we meet once a month from September to June, and we meet at the Graduate Club. We used to be there at night, but most of us would prefer to drive in the daytime. So we've been once we were able to meet in person again, we've been meeting at the Graduate Club at noon on a Saturday, which works out great. So working women can still come,
Yes.
and it's been very successful. We have a little social time, and then we have a relatively brief meeting, the dinner. We still have the dinner on a Saturday. It's still a very substantial meal. And sometimes we end with a program or a speaker, or we just socialize and catch up on what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
And there's another smaller group that meet once a month on a Thursday at the Townhouse in Hamden, just to chat and just to keep, because sometimes we don't get to chat at the meeting, we get very busy. So that's what we do. That's how we gather.
Yeah, well, it's socializing and keeping your friendships active and vibrant, and so that you don't lose touch with where a particular member might be at. And then you might know if that particular member needs something special or needs some help or support when you share your stories. So those meetings are obviously very important.
Right.
And small groups sometimes are a wonderful idea, where you get to be even more in depth
Right.
about what you're up to.
Very much so.
Very much so. All right, so seeing as I switched up the order
That's
on
okay.
the gals because I forgot about
wanted
that.
to make sure I got that in so
Well,
people know where
baby,
we meet.
A
and
true
how we
president's
get
job.
together.
A true president's job.
keep
But
on
now
schedule.
you get to talk again, Doreen, about the programs for the Quota group that helps women and children that might be in need. So why don't we highlight some of those
Sure.
programs?
As an international organization, we are concerned about women and children, not just in our general Greater New Haven area, but further beyond our borders. And we have two projects that we do that are more distant projects. For several years, we've supported the Kenya. I have to look at it to make sure I get it right. The Kenya Healthcare Initiative, which encompasses healthcare, clean water initiatives, and focus on young girls. And the organizational base is in Orange, Connecticut. And so we feel that it's a distant group, but we have a local connection, and we know the people who organize it, and they are doing some wonderful things for some very disadvantaged, mostly girls. They do a lot for the girls and for the women, but they will also do work with families in Kenya.
Clean water. I mean, how we take for granted the turning on of the tap. We take for granted taking showers and baths whenever we want to, and there are so many women around the world that are not so fortunate.
Right.
I mean, indoor plumbing.
Right.
So that is excellent. Thank you for telling us about that.
We support them financially, but in the past we've also helped with these workshops where we create hygiene kits for young girls, and that's been kind of a lot of fun. We provided food at that for the volunteers and sewing machines, and so it's a hands-on and it's a donation.
Wonderful.
The other long, further distant one is the Indian Mobile Mission, and again, a cousin's wife has been running it for 50 years. So we kind of like the distant projects that have a local connection. We know where our money is going. We know exactly where it's going. And this mission services a Navajo reservation in Arizona. And some of the members sponsor an individual child by sending a monthly donation or gifts occasionally and keeping in touch. The club itself offers money for the summer program, which is much needed there. And a recent note from Sylvia, she said 2,000 of the children on the reservation were left without parents because of COVID.
Oh my goodness.
So their mission to the children there is vital, and we are really glad to be a part of that. And the third area that I wanted to talk about for women and children would be our mission in Southbury, more locally. And we have actually been going there for 50 years. We have adopted it's changed, but we have a cottage of ladies that we have adopted, and twice a year we go and play bingo with these ladies, have a bingo party.
You gotta love bingo.
Which we couldn't do during the pandemic, but we just went last Saturday, and it was absolutely thrilling to be back. They were happy, we were happy, staff was happy. It was really a good time. Many of our members are pen pals, because all of the ladies have a pen pal who's a Quotarian, who send notes during the year and cards and maybe little gifts.
Love it.
And then at Christmas time, we package up fairly large gift bags for each lady, so that and a friend and I are the elves that deliver them.
The elves.
The elves.
Yes,
we're the elves, and we've been told that for some of the women, that's the only gift they get. They don't have, some are elderly, they don't have families, so we feel very, very happy that we have been carrying this mission on, that people long before us started, and we've been able to continue it.
Good, and so I'm glad you mentioned about the elves, because now our wonderful director is going to show some pictures, and we're going to run through them.
Okay.
And we're going to tell our viewers what they're looking at. So there you are, Santa's elves.
Yes, that's Lynn and I delivering the gifts. You can see they're pretty good sized gifts. There are, I think, 23 packages in my back of my car.
Awesome.
Being delivered.
Awesome. And then we have another picture. And what are we looking at here, Ann?
Oh, and this is the recent Chapel on the Green that we did, and this is our volunteers in front of the Trinity Episcopal Church, and this is where we served a lovely lunch that we had made and brought, and got to know the folks who came.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, and now we have another one. Oh, Doreen, what is this? That's Rosa DeLauro, is that
That
not?
was a pre-pandemic, but those are the ladies that do the sorting that Ann talked about at the food share, and they happened to have a special visitor that day, and she wanted to have a picture taken with our group, so that's what that is.
Wonderful. And then we have Ann. What is this one?
Oh, this is our fashion show.
I see you in there.
I am. We have a fashion show I have had every year up until recently, and it's just so much fun. A group of us volunteer, and we model all these fun clothes, and sometimes get to take them home, and
Have to pay for them, though.
and we pay for them, right? We
Of
don't
course
get
you
them
do.
for free. And we make actually quite a bit of money, as I'll talk about in a few minutes.
Okay, very good. And now we have, I think, one more picture? No, two. What are we looking at here, Doreen?
Well, those are the ladies at Fellowship Place serving the meal. We're known as the meatball ladies, because that's what serves. And we were going on Meatless Monday, so they were meatless meatballs.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, they're very, very happy to see our group come.
Okay, and then I think, do we have one more? Oh, this Ann. Oh, this is a lovely picture. I love all the
me front
orange.
and center when I was in president. We all dressed in orange because of Food Insecurity Month.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to make our connection with Connecticut Food Share even more up front and affirmed.
Great. Okay, well, thank you, Victor. And this is your logo, Quota International Clubs. I like that. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
That's very good. Okay, so now, getting back to our program, Doreen, every organization needs money. It needs a way to do all the good works that you were talking about. So could you talk to us about fundraising? And I think there was a large donation given to you by a prior member.
Yes, we were very blessed to have a 50-year member. When she died, gave us a bequest of sizable money, and we've been what do I want to say? Conservative about spending it. So we still
good
have
stewards.
we still have a bit of that. And then, as I mentioned before, when International dissolved, we had a refund from them of a sizable amount of money. So our club has decided that, given that, we're not going to be really pushing like well, you're going to talk about the fashion show, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we thought we would concentrate on getting new members and strengthening what we're already doing. But we do have a couple of ways of still making money so that we can still do our charitable giving. And there's 4 coming up. In August, on the 24th actually, our lobster food truck event will be held at Camp Cedar Crest in Orange.
Sure, I'll come. I
Everybody's
love lobster.
welcome. Just let me know. You're more than welcome. And by the way, Camp Cedar Crest we own Camp Cedar Crest along with 4 other service organizations, and that happened in like the 1930s.
Wow.
So we try to get out there, and sometimes we go and help with cleanup and other things that are going on there. In October, we sell tickets for the Boscov's event, where they have one day where people can go and use this ticket to get 20% off what they buy. And for every ticket, which is $5, we sell, we get to keep the $5. So it's a pretty good fundraiser. They even let us sit at the door and sell tickets that day.
There you go. They're not going to push you guys
Anne's very good.
around.
She goes up to everyone. Have you got your ticket?
Got your ticket? It's only $5.
That's right. She's the best. She's the best. And who can say
It's
no?
a lot of fun.
I bet it is a
Say
lot
no
of
to
fun.
this
No, how can you
sweet
say
girl?
no to this beautiful lady?
We hope to have our wine tasting again at the Graduate Club in the fall. And then in December we have a holiday party, and we have raffles and make a little money doing that. So we're still making money, but we're not feeling the pressure because at the moment we do have some funds we need to spend and share. And there are a lot of needs out there. So
excellent. Okay, thank you very much. That gives it a very good overview. So now I thought we would talk about a special success story, something that you have done or you know about Anne and the organization, and Doreen, you're going to get your chance to, something that's touched your heart, and I think you want to talk about that fashion show.
I do. I can't believe it when I think about it, but the fashion show has existed for 70 years.
Wow. 70? Like
70?
70?
70
Wow.
years.
Right after World War II they started doing it.
And it's gone through all kinds of different permutations and combinations. One year they actually hired a designer to come in and do the clothes, and everybody had to be sewn into their outfits. And that didn't work so well. So they kind of laughed and went on and, worked with various people and stores to have the fashions. But the really important thing about the fashion show is this is where we earn the bulk of our money for fundraising during the year. And we used it to pay for our scholarships to high school seniors who are going on to study in areas of mental health and disability and those kinds of things. And also to fund other very important very important projects that we do.
Yeah, I think you also have a special love for people who have hearing impaired issues, and so I know you ladies support that, and there's just amazing how many, I was reading in your membership booklet, how many wonderful things that you really do. So yeah, you've got the money, but you could always use more because there's always people who could use it.
Right.
For sure. All right, Doreen, now it's your turn to talk about those scholarships.
Well, we've mentioned a little bit about what I was going to talk about, but
that's okay. I'm going to expand on it.
I will expand. I joined Quota 37 years ago.
Wow.
And it was because of a friend, in fact, she was a colleague when I worked at the rehab center. I had a program for hearing impaired children at the rehab center, many years ago, 37 some and plus years ago. And she said, I belong to an organization, and one of the focuses is helping the hearing impaired. I think you should come. I think you'd like it. That was 37 years ago, and I'm still there, and she's still there. So
that's awesome.
So it's really great.
So do you actually help people buy hearing aids?
Well, we've done a lot of things. There's several things we've helped with. There's a program in New Haven at East Rock School, and we've done a lot of things. We've even had volunteers go there and help. And in fact, we now have 2 members who are teachers in that program that are members, retired, but they were members there, teachers there. Another one that I really love is that we support we help sponsor a hearing ear dog.
A hearing ear dog,
just like the dog site for the blind. This is for the deaf. It'll answer the door for them, tell them the alarm is ringing, tell them that the buzzer just went off on the
maybe nudge
stove.
Them, nudge them,
Let them, if they hear sounds, they'll let them know. And that's through a program that's here in New England.
Okay.
And as was mentioned, in scholarships, we try to give money to the hearing impaired going on to further their education when we can. If not, we give scholarships to someone in a related field or something that we feel is going to be helpful to people. And we have couple of times had a request for a hearing aid, and we have given money toward hearing aids for people. So so that hooked me in. Yeah,
for sure. Of course, that's just so it's just so right up your alley.
Yeah.
Because what I keep hearing when I'm listening to you talk is just that you find things that you know are important, that the organization has done for many years. I'm sure you would even welcome some new ideas if a new member came in and said, what about the diaper bank, or what about this?
We've done the diaper bank.
You've done the diaper bank. So I think that is what I'm hearing from you, and I think our viewers are going to take that away from our discussion. They're going to know that is what the good ladies are all about. And just need a few more good ladies. Wouldn't that be swell?
Always welcome.
Always good ladies. Okay, so now we've talked, and how do people contact you? I mean, they're seeing us, but now they have to have a way of getting in touch with you. So I think we have a screen that's going to come up in a fraction of a second. There we are.
Right.
So what we're looking at now, my dear viewers, is the information that you would need to contact Doreen, who is the current president. There's her email. There's her phone number, which, God bless you, you're willing to do that. That's amazing. You can visit them on Facebook if you like, but there is the contact information. So I hope you'll take advantage of the contact information. And you could ask me, you could ask Ann. Ann and I are members of Spring Glen Church, and we'd be happy to answer any of your questions. So there you go. That is the contact information. So I've just enjoyed this conversation so very much. I think we've covered a lot of ground. But you know what? There is something. Yep, I'm going to wrap it up, Victor. Okay, so this is what Quota stands for. The Q is quench in our hearts, O Lord, all fires of selfishness. Unfold to us the joys of true friendship. Open our minds to a better understanding of service. Teach us the real meaning of sharing, and help us to hold high those principles of Quota for which we stand.
Amen.
Amen. All right. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Great show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being
so
my
much
guest.
for
It's
having
been
us.
Thank you for having us.
A lot of fun, a lot of good information, and that's what my show is all about. So thank you again for watching. I'm Bernadette Welsh for Community Works. And remember, when people help their neighbors, everybody benefits. We'll see you next time.